With everything going on in the world today, and I mean this very day, share prices tumbling, worry of a global trade war, I'm really glad that we're in the business that we're in. Personally, I don't see things getting better anytime soon. Bigger utility bills, local taxes and mortgages, and that's before we even get on to food bills, let alone booze, beauty products and even wellness goods. Whichever way you look at it, things are just going to get more and more expensive. So what are we at Huddled going to do about it? Well, we're going to make things cheaper for our customers and we're going to shout about them more. We've just signed off 2 new TV adverts for both NutriCircle and Boot Beauty. And with both of these brands delivering their best month ever in March, now is the time to invest in them. Due to year-end results, I can't get into too much financial details because we're in a closed period. But what I can tell you is that Boot revenue in March matched that of January and February combined. So back to the TV adverts. Both of these are going to get recorded this week. And we've also just signed reality TV star Olivia Bowen to be the face of the Boot Beauty ads. That said, with growing sales comes greater demand for stock. And over the last few weeks, we've invested heavily in more stock, especially for these 2 new brands, Boot Beauty and NutriCircle, both in terms of breadth and depth, taking our combined stock levels of the whole group to just over 1.6 million, with NutriCircle and Boot representing about £1 million of this figure. This in turn leads to more pressure on the warehouse, as more goods come into the warehouse and of course with more sales, means more parcels leaving the warehouse. So I've spoken about this many times, about the warehouse operating at maximum capacity, both in terms of stock on the floor and our ability to process orders. That said, we did manage to deliver an additional 30,000 parcels in Q1 compared to Q4 2024. Although with stellar growth on both NutriCircle and Boop, we've had to throttle Discount Dragon back a little, as we simply haven't been able to process the orders. Anyway, an amazing effort by our warehouse colleagues. And what was interesting is at the beginning of January, they told me they couldn't do any more than 110,000 parcels in the quarter. So to do an extra 30,000, a Herculean job from them, so thanks. On Discount Dragon, the move to more bulk or tray buys, as I would call it, has continued to show promise, with the average number of picks per order falling to around 10, allowing us to process more orders as the total number of picks reduces. Whilst this isn't exactly in sync, as trays are heavier and slightly more difficult to pick, it is definitely helping, which together with the additional goods lift and onboarding of the 4th floor will allow us to scale operations in line with demand. We've had a few minor teething problems with the move to DPD. When we signed up with them, we didn't know until we actually dispatched numerous parcels that delivering to the Channel Islands was going to be a challenge and required some extra paperwork. As such, all of these were returned to us, which was a little unexpected. So the other challenge that we've got is on the surface, they can deliver greater weight, up to 30 kilograms, but whilst on the surface it looks good, a number of these heavy parcels just didn't stand up to DPD's fully automated service and ended up with breakages. And as such, we've learned some really quick and valuable lessons. So if you were one of those customers impacted, I can only apologise, and obviously you'll have had a refund. But I'm glad to say that both problems have now been rectified and we're getting into better flow with our partner at DPD. So with the world wanting more bang for its buck, we feel more than ever that we're in the right place. We're really now starting to put the building blocks in place to allow us to scale into the demand that we know is there. For us, it's about the 3 Ps, product, price and promotion. We've increased stock levels both in terms of depth and breadth. This will allow us to be keener on price whilst maintaining margins, and all of which will allow us to shout about these things more with bigger and better promotions. So lots to do, and until next time, thank you.